according to this GitHub repository.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gamer Social Club Party Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Nathan, aka One Hot Dragon, and I am joined by none other than the hoariest horror Fraser, the best F-bomb dropping guy I know. What's up?
I am marvelous. So happy to be back.
Oh, me too.
I love this 2.0.
Yeah.
Die Hard 2.0 with a vengeance.
That's
Die
right.
even harder. Let's do it.
I've definitely seen Die Hard as
game.
well as The Matrix. And I'm also joined by I am also joined by all aboard the emulation station. It's the PC Master Guru Russell. I know you missed that intro, buddy. How's it going? I know you're not feeling tip top today.
I forgot about that shit.
Anyways, so me and Russell both, folks. So welcome to the Gamer I'm rusty, okay? Cut me some slack. Damn. Jeez, calm down, Steve. Anyways, welcome to the Gamer Social Club.
You look old, not us. It's just you, Nathan. Nathan looks old.
Yeah, no, I am old. I'm very old. I'm 30 now. I've actually gone into my 30s since the last time I podcasted. So, you know, there's that. Now I'm like basically ancient. I mean, you could almost call me Jeff.
Hey,
got him.
Come on now. Come on.
Oh man, I love you, Jeff. Hello. Okay, sorry. I already read that part. My bad. Today, ladies and gentlemen, ew. It's ew to you, Steve. Today we are going to be talking about Doom and the history of Doom and getting into a little trivia game that I've put together for y'all. And before we get into all that, figured I'd go ahead and address some of the reasons why we've been out of commission for the past couple of months. The real reason is that I took Harry's recommendation and I tried out the Outer Worlds, and it sent me into a mental home. And so I've been in psychiatric care for the past 2 months, based off of Harry's recommendation. They told me that only a complete psychopath could play through the game completely and actually survive. So that's why it's taken me so long. I finally got back on track mental health-wise. So, yeah, now we know the truth about Harry. No, I couldn't finish it. Harry was able to finish it. Harry was able to.
Yeah, but he's a beast, man. He's like, he got the platinum for fucking Helldivers. Like,
oh, did he really?
What sort of psychopath does that? Yeah. Unreal.
Listen, I had to poke my phone at Harry because I told him, if you don't call Mark, we awoke in the hive, if you don't call him Mark Zuckerberg, then you're fired. Well, I don't have that ability to fire him, so, you know, I can at least poke phone at him, right? But, but anyways, no, the real reason we've been out of commission for the past 2 months is kind of, we're just been realigning what we want out of this podcast, where we want to see it go, where we want to end up, and what kind of changes we can implement to make them different, and to kind of give you guys a better experience, and to also have some more fun with it ourselves. Yeah, so I'm excited to announce that, you know, not only is the news podcast happening every week, but we have this live show every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then we have the news podcast. It records on Thursday nights and then it uploads every Friday. Like either Friday morning or Friday night, but, you know, I don't know what to call that British time. But that, just so you know, that is officially our UK team. They are the team that is behind the news. And then we just have a rotating roster on Friday nights of people who come through here. We are kind of on Friday nights sticking to one topic at a time. Maybe we'll visit some other different things, depending on what's going on. I mean, here in a couple weeks, you know, we'll be doing predictions. We want to do predictions podcast of the upcoming Xbox showcase and Summer Games Fest showcase. So we'll want to make sure to be covering that stuff. And no, we're not okay. Yes, the UK team. Okay, I see what you did there, Steve. I see what you did. That was good. Gosh, I'm so rusty, guys. I apologize. But no. So anyways, that's what we're going to be doing in a couple weeks. And yeah, so we'll just every Saturday we are going to be, you can expect to see it Saturday or Sunday on the website. There will be an article sharing with you all the stuff we've covered throughout our different shows. That way, we'll make it a little easier for you to share with people the different kinds of shows that we produce throughout the week. And we're looking into some other new things to add into everything, but it's too early on that stuff to be able to say anything on it. But again, I've said it 100 times and I'll say it 100 more times, just as we do new things and try new things, just let us know how you feel about them and what you like and don't like. And, we want to work with you to make a product that you guys like. So, and, also in the process, just have fun doing it ourselves. So Friday nights are going to be more dedicated towards, like I said, the one thing, and also with both news and the Friday night podcast, we are trying to implement, we've noticed that people stick around more. Like, we're able to see the numbers when people come and when people go. People hang around more when we're just hanging around talking. So the news show, they typically spend like 20 to 30 minutes just hanging out, catching up. What have you been up to? What have you been playing? And Friday nights, that's what we're doing too. We're going to hang out here, catch up. It's been a while since we podcasted. I know I'm curious to hear how Russell's been and what he's been up to. And so that's kind of going to be how we do Friday nights. And then again, we'll move into the one topic. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Doom again. Well, I got a trivia put together. Got some fun facts to go over, and we'll talk about our experience with the new game so far. So, if there's any questions, please just, this is live. Hit me up in the chat, Steve. You know what to do. The Gamer Social Club. It is a place where gamers from all around the world come and share their love for video games together in a positive environment. Our goal is to give gamers a platform to share their experiences, to add to the conversation in the games industry, to give more gamers a sense of community, and bring a little more happiness into your life. So, Gamer Social Club started out as a book club for gamers, and it is still going strong. You can join us in our Discord channel. The link is in the comment section below. Not the comment section, sorry. The description below. If you want to be a part of that. Right now, the game of the month is Doom Dark Ages, correct, Fraser? That's kind of what we're all talking about?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so that is kind of the current game we got going on right now. And, yeah, so let's get right into it now that we're all done giving you the rigmarole of what's been going on with the podcast and all that boring stuff. Russell, what have you been up to since March? March, I believe, is the last time we talked. Like, just hang out, podcasted?
Maybe, if you say so. I mean, what do you want to know?
What do you been?
Everything.
It's just everything. You
day by day.
Like
Monday, I did this.
Tuesday, you ate what?
I also did that.
Monday, I went to work. Tuesday, I went to work. Wednesday, I went to work. Thursday, I went to work and then played Doom. And Friday, I was miserable all day and played Doom.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Brilliant.
So, did you hit up any awesome parties outside of work? No awesome parties?
I'm almost 40. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, dude, we're 40. We don't party.
This is coffee.
Yeah. You're the one who's 30. You're the one who goes out to the club and shakes his booty and attracts, I don't know, things.
Okay, all right. Now, see what's funny?
No. He doesn't even attract people. He just attracts STDs.
Yes.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. See, it's funny because, you talk about me going out to the clubs, but actually I'm out here in the party chat shaking this ass. All right? That's the only party I'm rocking. So, what games have you been playing, Russell?
Apart from Doom, I'm still putting away at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think I'm almost done with it.
It's for you, Steve.
and then
Yeah,
maybe
I noticed you were still going with Kingdom Come.
Oh yeah.
You've been going with that for ages.
How many hours are you into it?
Like 160, I think. Now, and this isn't like throwing shade. I was obviously not, the person that was supposed to review it to begin with. We'll get into that. So there will be a review. Hopefully at least started writing by the end of the weekend. I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. I wasn't, I had the 3-day weekend planned for a while. I was not intending on getting sick, so there's that, I guess. But, apart from that, just like my YouTube channel stuff, I have, I'm still buying handheld emulators. It's just a lot less right now because tariffs, and we don't want to necessarily get into anything political. That's annoying, but anyway, it is what it is. I'm dealing with that.
I know you were.
I know there's other stuff I've played, but I literally can't think of what it is.
So what's been going on with your YouTube channel? I know you were catching me up to speed a little bit before we started airing, but for everybody watching, what's been on your YouTube channel lately?
Emulation stuff, covering a lot of like PC mods and ports. How can I put this? Expanding into broader stuff than just emulation on it. Just because, again, the tariffs and whatnot are making things really, really limited with that. I think I'm almost at 150 subscribers, if I remember right.
Nice.
That's
amazing, dude. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think getting monetized by the end of the year is not entirely out of the question. We'll see. I think I've made that a goal. Whether or not it happens, who knows? You know how that shit goes.
And
we'll put it out into the universe.
Yeah.
Get Russell monetized by the end of the year.
Yep.
So I can make like $3 in ads a month.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
The short form content is really working out well for you.
Yeah, the live streaming I'm still gonna live stream mods and stuff once in a while, but doing like 10 to 15 minute videos seems to be working a lot better than live streaming for hours.
The live stream is so hard.
Yeah.
Like you have to do it at the same time every week, and kind of build because like if you don't, like people don't know when you're going live. People are not ready for it. They're like, oh, cool, I've got 2 hours on a Thursday afternoon. What am I going to do? Oh, Russell's not on today. Kind of, that's what happened to me anyway. I started streaming and I just couldn't keep up with the consistency.
Right.
And it just fell off.
True, but then like if you're going to do short form content, you have to at least pretend like you know how to edit and make thumbnails that don't look like they were drawn by an 8-year-old.
but they're awesome.
Thumbnails are fucking amazing. I love them so much. I live for it.
Yeah, and I was just talking to Megan about this today because she's starting a little small business, and I don't know if any of you guys follow the entrepreneur Gary Vee on social media, but that's one of the things he always talks about when it comes to creating content is don't think about it, just make it, just do it. And honestly, in my time here at Gamer Social Club, I feel like that's been nothing but proven, especially, Harry's going to shout that from the top of the mountain when it comes to, if you think it's small, you could be very, very, very wrong. Best example I've got is my Black Ops guides that I made. I did 2 guides, one for all achievements and how to get all the achievements. And you would think, hey, no, that's going to get me the most views is all these achievements, a guide to every single one of them, all in one place. And then an article on how to kill the hardest boss on veteran mode has just done crazy numbers. So, and I didn't even put half as much work into that article, but it did so much better. So it's just that thing of like, when you're out here creating content, you think it, you make it, go. You see the news, you do the news, go. Like, don't overthink it. That's going to be your downfall. But yeah, so Fraser, what have you been up to? You have had a very eventful past couple months since March.
Mate, my life has gone. I don't even know. I don't
Way
even know
uphill.
what's going on. So I think in December I got a new job, right? It's like my dream job. And while I was in my notice period at my old job, I got a hernia. And my new job didn't want me to start until I got my hernia fixed. And, things happen. It wasn't until the end of March that I got my hernia repaired. And this just goes to show how amazing this new company is. They held my job for me for 3 months, which is it's unheard of, really, to be honest.
It really is unheard of. Yeah.
So what my job is, I train baristas. I work for a coffee company, and the coffee company has a barista academy, and we the coffee that we sell to cafes, they can send in their staff to me to be trained. And so for 3 whole months, they just didn't have that service, which is insane to just think that rather than going through and hiring someone else, I obviously did something or said something that they liked, and they wanted to keep me around. So I started my new job at the beginning of April, and I'm 6 weeks in or something.
It's crazy.
And I absolutely love it. It is so amazing.
I mean,
I get
I was just gonna say, just from being in the Discord, I can tell you're a happier person. I can feel that positivity.
It's amazing. So I get people from all skill levels. So I get people that have never ever touched a coffee machine before, all the way through to people that are wanting to compete in the World Barista Championships. So it's incredible, coming in, and I have this kind of a question that I ask right at the very start of the thing. We go through, we kind of have a bit of a chat, we get to know each other a bit, and my question is what is coffee? What is it? What does it mean to you? And a lot of people are oh, it's a drink that I have in the morning, it wakes me up, it's my latte, it's my whatever. But when you think about coffee at its fundamental level, coffee is actually a fruit, and we are drinking the seed of a fruit. And people are like, what? What do you mean? But yeah, if you think of coffee like an apple, we are removing all of the apple, we're taking the seed, we're cooking it, we're crushing it, and we're putting it in water, and then we're drinking it. That's what coffee is.
You ever watch The Regular Show? It's a cartoon show.
Yes. I haven't seen it for a long time, but they're birds, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, a bird and a raccoon.
Yeah, I know the one.
And there's an episode with Mr. Coffee Guy, and essentially he's this giant coffee bean that's a sumo wrestler, and he goes, coffee, coffee, and he shoots coffee out of his man boobs. It's fantastic. I think that's truly how we actually get our coffee. Yeah, not really what you're telling me. No, it's from Mr. Coffee.
Do you remember Ren and Stimpy? Did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah, yep.
Powdered toast, man. Do you remember powdered toast?
Oh my gosh, yes, yep.
And he'd bend over and scrape his butt cheeks and onto your toast. And it's powdered toast. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving my job. It's where I'm meant to be in life. It's kind of that thing where I've been working my way towards this without really knowing that this is where I've been working my way towards.
Yeah.
And now I'm here, and I'm just absolutely loving it.
I love that so much for you, dude. I'm definitely
Right?
envious. Like that. I mean, isn't that the goal in life? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um.
Yeah. And like I get people come through the classes and they leave, and like when I first started making coffee, I was traveling. I'd moved from New Zealand to Australia. I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. I'd never worked in a cafe before, and I got a job in a cafe, like making toast, washing dishes, like just that kind of stuff. And I was like, what, 22, 23, somewhere around there. And then yeah, just fell in love with coffee. Didn't realize you could actually like make a career from coffee.
Yeah.
And like kind of getting that, passing on my knowledge and passing on my enthusiasm and all that kind of stuff. And like just making people realize like this after school job that you've got, like you can make a life from it.
Yeah.
It's not just a shit kicker job. Like it's actually something that you can do, and you can make decent money, and I've met the most amazing people through what I do.
I was getting ready to that was going to be my next question. Like, so how, you said people from all around the world, right? Like, what kind of people are you meeting? Like, where's the farthest they've come from? Coffee.
To grow coffee, you need perfect soil, you need perfect temperature, perfect humidity, you need the perfect rainfall. Everything needs to be perfect. So you'll find that the equator, all the way around the world, is where coffee's growing. So like Brazil, Africa, Indonesia, India, like those kind of countries. And so there was this one guy that so the farmers obviously live in these countries and grow coffee. And this one farmer came into where I worked one day at this coffee roastery. And we were just talking to him and talking about coffee and all that kind of stuff. And he was so humble about what he did. Like, his coffee was incredible, and everyone was like, oh my God, your coffee's amazing. It tastes like this. It tastes like cherry pie. It tastes like all these kind of things. And he's like, I come from a third world country. Yeah. Like, I don't know what cherry pie is.
No, man.
And I've never had cherry pie before. And you're telling me that like my coffee tastes like cherry pie. He's like, that's cool, but like, I don't know what that is. It's just coffee to me. And it really kind of made me think, like, these people put their heart and soul and like literal blood into this. Wow. They're out in the sun all day, every day. Coffee, 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 coffee.
Man.
And then we take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like, we're just like, oh, this coffee's shit, or this coffee's great.
Yeah.
And it's like, mate, this person, whether it's shit or not, they fucking Steve, man. He's loving
Steve's
it.
been cracking me the fuck up. People that drink coffee, that's who come to see you. Oh my gosh.
and like another person that I've met, the best man at my wedding, we met at a cafe.
Yep.
I was working as a barista. He was a customer. And he walked in, and we were wearing the same heavy metal t-shirt, like exactly the same t-shirt. and we were like, what's going on? What? And we just started chatting, started talking, became like best mates. And like, he's the best man at my wedding. Like,
that's amazing.
Just from coffee.
And do you guys still work together, or like, do you guys work together now, or do you guys still just hang out?
No, we're mates. We're just mates, hang out. Yeah.
Okay.
He is an incredible music photographer.
Oh yeah.
And he travels the world taking photos of like festivals and gigs.
Yeah.
Shit. We'll throw his one of his handles down in the description. Like, his stuff is like out of this world.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, it's absolute. I don't know how he does it. He spends a lot of time editing. A lot of it is editing.
Oh, I'm sure.
But just he's got the eye. He's got the eye for it.
Yeah, I've got a brother-in-law
so
who's that way. Like, he took pictures in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I genuinely thought were real pictures, and it took me a minute to realize, oh wait, no, that's Assassin's Creed. Holy shit!
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So there's this one photo. There's this band Behemoth. They are a Polish like black metal band.
Nice.
Fucking incredible.
Nice.
He took a photo of like the lead singer of that band during a show, and they've used that in like promotional material.
Oh,
like,
really?
His stuff is it's incredible.
What?
So yeah. What happened? Did you ban Steve? You've all of his chats just disappeared.
Oh
That's
my gosh!
hilarious.
Russell just deleted all of Steve's messages. For those of you listening,
I only put him in timeout for 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, coffee aside, the website's been so busy.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to balance my life with website life, and it's been so cool. So like there's two games that I want to talk about. One of them is Kyborg. I know I've spoken about this.
Yeah. I heard you talk about it on the
ago.
news podcast.
Yeah, and so the demo came out ages ago. It's fun, whatever. The full release is out now, and I will say that it is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So it's a third person like old school beat 'em up, right?
Right.
Arena beat 'em up.
Yeah.
So you're in an arena, and there's enemies of all different descriptions. There's ranged enemies, there's big ones, there's guys with shields. The combat reminds me a lot of like early Batman. Mm-hmm. Like those kind of like Arkham Asylum style. So you're parrying, you're dodging, certain enemies you can't parry, that kind of deal. So it's that, and they've added roguelite elements to it. So every arena you beat, you are then given a choice of upgrade. And so there's augments for your body. So you literally like just rip your arm off and like put a robot arm on, and it shoots like rockets. And like it's so wild.
That's
you
sick.
You can replace your dodge with like a teleport or like a rocket dodge. So you put like rockets on your feet, and you dodge through people, and they just explode.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good. And then there's weapons, so you can get axes and street signs and shotguns and all sorts of wild shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is similar to the Surge. It's made by another Polish joint. They seem to be going hard, the Poles, at the moment with games. Everything seems to be from some sort of Polish company. Actually, I apologize. Sobat Games is actually Russian. It's not Polish.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
I've got my notes here.
Didn't you say something when I was listening to the news podcast? You said something about it being kind of like a little bit more Batman Arkham City-ish, like the way the combat is?
Yep.
Is it
exactly? So you're bouncing, so you can lock onto an enemy, and you can launch across the arena.
Okay.
With your rocket boots, and just slam, and they explode.
Yeah.
And, like, it is an indie game, so it is janky, and the camera is a bit dodgy sometimes. And the only down thing for me is that the runs, because it's a roguelite, right? You get to the end, and then you just do another run. The runs are too short, so you don't get a chance to really like make this epic fighting killing machine. Like you're just building, you're just starting to the things that you're getting are starting to gel and starting to mesh, and then you get a good weapon, and then you're like, yes, and then it's the end. And you're like, oh, okay, we'll start again. And starting again, like all roguelites, you upgrade your like base skills, but you don't get anything like more than that.
Right.
So you kind of, like I said, you get to the end and you're like a half killing machine instead of like a full killing machine.
Whenever you are in combat, one of the things that kind of keeps me out of Batman Arkham Origins whenever I try to like go back to it is I feel like that closing distance in combat, right? Where, how do I explain this without you actually seeing it visually? It's like when you see one enemy over here and he's not right up into your face, he's over here and you press the X button, Batman swoops over and punches him, right? Batman Arkham Origin, you press the X button, he's like, yeah, and he punches the air. And it just completely unimmerses you from the game. So with Kyborg, is it a little bit more like Kyborg? Is it close that gap?
It's exactly
in combat?
like that.
Perfect.
Yep. So
perfect. You sold me.
hold down,
I
believe it's the left bumper, and it's got like a lock on.
Okay.
And if you're not locked on, yes, your punches can miss.
Yeah.
But if you're locked on and you're 2 feet away, you instantly close that gap and hit that person, and their face just explodes.
Yeah.
It's so gory and it's so much fun. It's like, so the company that made it, I don't know, they've got a couple of other beat 'em ups. Redeemer is one of them. And the other one is like Nine Monkeys of Shaolin, I think it's called.
The Redeemer sounds super familiar to me. Like I feel like I've heard about it.
It's always on sale on the Xbox store.
Okay.
And it's always in like beat 'em up bundles.
Sure.
Brilliant fun. Definitely worth a look.
Okay.
If you're an old school beat 'em up fan, this is like, it's got a new swing to it. And I'm hoping that they just add more and more and more and more.
Yeah. Now,
loads of fun.
I know this is a little bit off topic, but I know I'm going to forget if I don't ask you now. Did you do something different with the room?
Yeah, I did.
Are you on the opposite side of the room now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, that's what it is. I was like, I don't remember there being a door over there to the right. But you got the shelves exactly lined up the same way, so it's taken me a while to be like, oh, wait a minute, something's not right.
Yeah, so I started to get out of control with just buying shit, right?
Yeah?
I just buying shit. And so I said to Mon, I was like, I'm going to stop buying stuff. I'm going to start selling some of my things off. And this room just got fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I, at the last minute, I cancelled my Assassin's Creed Shadows special edition thing. I didn't buy that. And so I've just been trying to downsize a little bit. It's hard, dude.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Weird emotional connections to things that are like just stupid. Like, it's one thing I did do though is I threw out all the boxes. Every single box that I had for something. Threw them all out.
Yeah, see, I got stuff like
and
that.
And I will say it was very invigorating.
Yeah? Oh, geez. Yeah. Don't tell Megan that, because then she's going to be like, see, you need to throw them out. Like, I don't want to.
Steve just... And so Steve and I won that Lords of the Fallen thing. So I need to make room for that somewhere.
I was going to say, do you guys know when that's showing up yet?
No. We've put our details in, and we're just waiting now.
I'm so jealous.
Steve mentioned that they were running 2 or 3 competitions, so we think that they might be waiting until all the competitions are finished and then send it all out.
Probably so.
Yeah.
That statue's sick, and it looks gigantuan too.
good.
So
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited for it. I'll probably put it where my helmet is.
Oh,
Find
okay.
somewhere to put that helmet.
Yeah, get some
put it there.
LED lights out to like make it look to kind of show it off a little bit more, because it's a very black statue. You know, you need a little bit of light to kind of make it pop a little more.
Yeah.
Man, I'm stoked for you guys.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I know it's.
And then, sorry, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, just real quick.
No, go for
was
it.
the precinct.
Oh yeah, because that's the most recent thing you wrapped up, right?
Yeah, so my review came out like 3 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Oh,
it's so much fun. I'm playing it, and I'm forgetting that it's an indie. Like it's
that's
so,
awesome.
It's just so much fun. So it's set in the 80s. You're a police officer. It's like what's the like the top-down view? What do you call that? Isometric? Is that what it's called?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's isometric.
I think so.
It's semi-isometric, but it's like third-person action adventure where you're a police officer. But what's grabbed me about it is that you guys know that I'm like a simulation nerd. Like I love all those simulation games. The core gameplay of the precinct is simulation. So you are out on the beat, walking the beat. You're giving out parking tickets. You are stopping petty crimes. It's funny because I'm not American and I don't understand how your laws work. I don't do very well at
it. What do you mean selling weed is illegal?
So like
not in my state.
Actually, it's not in my state either.
One of the things that always trips me up is someone, I'll be like patting them down, frisking them or whatever, and they attack me with a knife, right? Mm-hmm. And like I throw them to the ground and I arrest them, and I charge them with assault and resisting arrest.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not resisting arrest. Apparently that's just assault.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that.
Arrest you. Yeah. According to this game, that is. Don't I'm not a lawyer. Don't use my.
Come to Gamer Social Club for all your legal advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can say that like if you arrested them and just threw them on the ground, like that's not resisting arrest. Don't ask me how I know that. But
if they pull a knife on you and attack you,
that's assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, but is that not resisting arrest as well?
No.
I feel like it should be.
That's so weird. I feel like it should be.
Did you tell him he was under arrest before he tried to stab you?
No.
Then no. You have to attempt to arrest him, and then he resists. That's
Yep, that makes so much more sense.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was playing that, and I was like 95% complete. Like my achievement tracker is at 95%. I was about 20 hours in, and my game crashed and wiped my save.
Ouch.
And so I loaded back in, and I just started tasering everyone. And so I didn't get very good scores for that, but it's a very fun game. It's super cheap too. I think it's only like $20 or $30.
Yeah,
and it's loads of fun.
See, now Fraser's.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Fraser's making me want to fucking. So I've been purposely not really reviewing much because what happened at the beginning of Kingdom Come Deliverance is there was a code or two that came in. One of them was Karma. That I've been waiting on for a while, and everything just kind of became a jumbled mess. And so I was like, I'm not taking any codes. I want to finish Kingdom Come and then be done. But I need to get into, because I'm just like, writing a handful of articles on the website right now, and that's every week, and that's basically all I'm doing. So
yeah. Let's see, what was I gonna say? You got like 20 hours or more into Police Simulator, then you lost it, right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. I was at the end. I was at the end because the way the main story progresses is like RNG. So like as you are like going through your beat cop, walking the beat, pulling people over, doing that kind of stuff, the evidence that you're collecting randomly will be part of like a major crime. And when you get enough evidence for that major crime, then you can tackle that crime itself and like take down a gang lord or take down a smuggler or something. So it's not like you can just be like, oh, sweet, and just run through the story. Like you actually have to play the simulation bit to continue.
Yeah. I apologize, everybody. I just now realized I left the background music on this whole time. I can't hear it. I just know what I'm sending through OBS. So apparently I've had background music running this entire time. So apologies.
It's hilarious.
Whoopsie poopsie. Oh man, it's cool that you lucked out getting 2 indies that you enjoyed so well right in a row.
Yeah.
And then I forgot Russell also did you did that Karma review. Do you want to kind of sum that up for us?
Looks amazing.
Cuz it looks awesome.
God, it's been a while since I guess we didn't really talk about that cuz we weren't doing the show then, I guess. So obviously it's been a hot minute since I did it. I think I gave it a 9. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's hard to describe. And I don't want to give away too much for spoilers because then Steve will fucking freak out in the chat and I'll have to time him out again. Honestly, the game is just so. I had done a review or whatever preview of the demo, and then they sent me that vertical slice. Things once you play the full game, things start making a bit more sense. But it's still like if you play the demo, just the demo that's on Steam, and I assume on PlayStation. I know it's supposed to be coming to Xbox at some point this year. I don't think that's been announced yet. Probably some type of exclusive deal or whatever. But if you just play the demo, like you're not gonna have a ton of idea as to what the hell's going on. I'm trying to remember. It's been a hot minute since I played that game. I don't know. What the hell else do you want to know about it? you kind of just like drop that on me.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was just asking what you thought of it and if you liked it or whatnot. But because I never did get a chance to read your review.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I'm glad it was the first. So I don't know if you guys have had this happen, but it's the first time that I reviewed the demo and then they sent me there was a vertical slice of like 40 minutes or something that I wrote a preview for. And then I did the review. So obviously I've been covering this game for a while. I'm glad that it was great. Coming off of Sophie the Echo, I'm glad I got a really, really good game.
The game that should not be mentioned.
Yeah, that fucking. That wasn't even a game. That was just a test of my patience. I think maybe Dano gave me that code because he was like testing to see if I was really in on the website.
He was mad at you.
Yeah, he was mad at you. That's what it was. Oh man.
To his credit, I know afterwards he did feel bad about it. So.
Oh man, that's wild. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and update you all on what I've been up to, and then here at about the hour mark, I will go ahead and we'll get into the Doom conversation and all that stuff. I know, now listen, in the future episodes, it's not going to be more than 30 minutes that we're all just like bullshitting around, but hey, we haven't done this in a while. We're just having fun talking, catching up, you know? Hell, I might even end up just like segmenting this first hour off into its own thing. But anyways, so yeah, no, let's see. Since March, since we last podcasted, What's crazy is I haven't been into a whole bunch. Like, I'm somewhere in the middle between what Russell's been up to and what Fraser's been up to. Mostly, I'm just working. It's nothing super exciting. I don't have much to update on to update people on. Hell, I can't even say that I've been super busy with the website stuff because I've been too busy working. So, like, I can't even say that. But I do have some fun, exciting things that I've been getting into. I know back in the beginning of March, I was kind of trying to squeeze in Avowed, and then I got like one act in, and I just didn't finish it. I got sidetracked because Split Fiction came out, and me and Dano were going to cover it between the two of us, and we just kind of... I was having issues planning with my partner on when we were going to be able to play, and then Dano and oh shoot, I'm so sorry, Jamie ended up finishing it before me, so they basically got all of the content done without me, and I was like, well, damn. I didn't even have a chance to shoot off a bullet. But no, then it was straight into Assassin's Creed from there. And let me tell you, that's all I've been doing up until I think I got the last achievement. Got the last achievement in the game, not this Saturday, but last Saturday. So Assassin's Creed has definitely been what I've been primarily doing. And once I finished writing my review, I wrapped up Vanguard. No, sorry, not Vanguard. Vanquished. I've wrapped up Vanquished, and my gosh, what a good game. I cannot believe how well that game has held up after all these years. Like, it's not even like it had some crazy remaster. It just still plays that good. I did download Bayonetta off of Jeff's recommendation, so eventually I'm going to get into that. Let's see, what was the other thing? We are in the process of moving right now. So we're actually about ready to move into a house. Right now we just got like this 2-bedroom apartment, and we're about to finally move into a house. And we are beyond excited for that because we've been living in trailers. And even moving into this apartment was kind of like we had to evacuate. I'll just leave it at that. We had to evacuate our last place, and we really lucked out that we landed in a nice apartment. So that's kind of what led us here. So now we're just like, finally, we have a chance to go get something we want. Me and my wife have been together for 10 years, and I stopped counting how many times we've moved past the number of 10. So we've definitely moved around a fucking lot. Like, that's an average of once a year we've moved. At least. There's just, I could sit here and go through all the reasons we've had to leave this place or that place, black mold, infestations, things of that nature. And like, this is the first time we're just like, we are choosing this and we want this. It seems like all those 10 times of moving was we didn't really want this, or it was we were escaping a really bad situation. So we're very stoked. I'm going to be like 5 minutes from my job. So I'm really stoked for that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Because my job, it's very much like they'll text you and be like, hey, go ahead and come on in. Okay, you go in, and they're like, we don't know what we're going to have you do yet. Just hang tight. So then you wait an hour, and then while you wait, they're like, oh, okay, it's ready. Go over to this location, and your trailers will be there. And then you go there, and then they're still loading those trailers. And then before you know it, it's like 3:30 a.m., and you're just starting your 10-hour day. And you've been there since 11 p.m. So it's like, luckily from now on, it's like I get that text message. I don't even leave my house until I know I am ready to actually get on the road. So that will be really nice. Aside from that, in lighter news, I got this sick sunburn. Check that out. Celebrated my daughter's birthday on Saturday, and boy, oh boy, it was a rough burn, let me tell you. But that's about.
Happy birthday. Here's some melanoma.
So yeah, we've been doing that. My son's been super into Spider-Man lately, so he's been tearing into my stuff. After all my Spider-Man stuff, he ripped open some exclusive Funko Pops I had, so that's cool. But it is cool because it was lit, Steve. No, he hasn't been able to he's never been shown to draw stick figures or stick people. And the other day he was able to actually just on his own without any lead draw a stick figure of a person, and he goes Spider-Man. So that was super cool. But I'll tell one funny story and then I'll talk video games. But my he's just this little Pokemon character who just says Mario all the time, right? Like it's either Spider-Man or Mario. I'll go Mario, 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 Mario. And so he's riding on his scooter on the sidewalk. And as he's riding on the sidewalk, he's not really paying attention to his surroundings. And there's this parked utility truck. It's parked. And it's hanging out into the sidewalk, like the rear end of it. So he keeps riding his scooter, smacks face into that truck, falls flat on his back. And he's just laying there and he's going, Mario! Mario! A poor guy he's just like he was a broken Pokemon there. But yeah, no, I've been dude. Poor guy. I've been laughing about it though. I feel so bad. We've got a couple more minutes before we get into Doom talk, but so yeah, Assassin's Creed, guys, holy shit. Like we're going to have a dedicated episode for Assassin's Creed. Fraser has already put together a great list of questions, and we want to come up with making our own perfect Assassin's Creed game. So that's a conversation we are going to do at some point. And originally we were going to do it on this episode, but with Doom coming out, we felt that it was more relevant to talk Doom, right? So but I want to talk a little bit of Assassin's Creed because holy shit, man. I know me and Fraser, we've talked a little bit off air about our experience with it so far. But my gosh, listen, if you haven't read my review of Assassin's Creed yet, I'll just kind of give you the bullet points of it. I've been playing Assassin's Creed since the very first game. I've been a huge fan since then. There hasn't necessarily been an Assassin's Creed that I don't like. Even Assassin's Creed 3, I liked it. I know that it had a slow start. I think it's like chapter 7 that you finally put the uniform on and then you start going on missions, right? So yeah, there's not an Assassin's Creed that I haven't liked. Through the years, you kind of get your nitpicks, right? Of, man, I wish they would always do this thing or stop doing that thing, yada, 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 yada. And I feel like with Assassin's Creed Shadows, they finally fixed, any nitpick I've ever had of the franchise. And it's funny because you can ask Fraser, me and him were messaging, and I was like, man, I just got a couple minor nitpicks. And I was like, one, and I forgot to put this down in my review. It is climbing the towers. A lot of times you'll climb towers and you'll just be grappling all the way up the tower. It's like that. That's not fun. That's not parkour. So that was my first nitpick. My second nitpick was I want to be able to auto tell my horse to go. I want to be able to put on a waypoint. And literally the next day after I messaged that to Fraser, they updated it and made it to where you can auto ride your horse to your waypoint. And let me tell you, my experience with it has been amazing because then it's like I'm also using the xCloud. So I've been doing a ton of training, which is part of the reason why work's been crazy. So what I've been doing while I've been at work is I'll take my backbone, plug my phone in, and to get all the little waypoints and the collectible stuff, I've just been setting my horse to auto go, and I'll set my phone off to the side. And I don't have to be playing the game. I'm getting all that tedious, boring bullshit done out of the way.
Yeah.
So that was kind of part of the reason I was able to get through so much of it, was because I was able to like not really play it essentially for some of that stuff, right? And get the upgrades and take advantage of all the cool stuff without actually having to put in the time to do it, right? So aside from that, the combat was amazing. The traversal was awesome. If I did have any other nitpicks, it was that there was so much foliage, that there was so many points where you're trying to climb a hill, you just get lost in bushes and you're like, where the fuck am I going? That was another nitpick I had, but yeah. But like there was cool parkour stuff. There was, they finally bring back some cool Templar lore and the Brotherhood lore. You've got people you can call upon. You got the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood's back to help you out through stuff. You can upgrade them, recruit them. They have cool stories. Every mission you play is its own like 3 to 4 hour campaign essentially, which is why it's such a huge game. And there was some that didn't really hit for me, but there was some that I thought were really good. Like they're going to stick with me. But at the end of the day, Yasuke was 100% my... If I have a roster of my favorite characters from Assassin's Creed, I've only been sitting on this for a week, right? So take that into account when I say this. But after a week of thinking about my time with Assassin's Creed, if I had a roster of my favorite assassins throughout this franchise, 1 would be Ezio, 2 Yasuke. And honestly,
interesting.
It'd probably be Yasuke above Ezio. If I give it some more time and really chew on it, I think I might actually like Yasuke better. Absolutely phenomenal story. I loved his character development. I loved where he came from, where he ended up as. There was so many I'm Batman moments with Yasuke, and he literally said, I'm Yasuke at different points, which I know sounds cheesy when I say it that way, but it's not cheesy in the moment. They have this art style that comes into black and white during certain moments where it's kind of got that old school Japanese movie feel to it. And that will also happen during executions and stuff. But yeah, that again, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Really, if you ask some of my longtime friends, they'll always tell you I'm always going on and on about whatever the latest Assassin's Creed is. I mean, I had my things about Origins. I had my things about Valhalla. I've had my things about Odyssey. I don't have my things with Shadows. I don't. Like, that game was a flawless installment for me. And, honestly, some nitpicks are the only thing that kept me from giving it a 10. It was just the minor nitpicks that kept me from giving it a 10. So when I say like, I know this is like off topic, but like we collectively gave Split Fiction a 10 out of 10. Me, Jamie, Dano. Like when I look at Split Fiction, I don't see a reason to even nitpick it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, the story isn't like I'm writing home about the story and I'm going to remember this and hold it near and dear to my heart. I'm going to get the tattoos of quotes from Split Fiction on me. No, it's nothing like that, but it doesn't matter because it's a fucking video game. And it was so good at being a fucking video game that you didn't even care, But anyways, Fraser, what did you think? Tell me a little bit about your time on Assassin's Creed.
I agree with everything you said about Assassin's Creed. It was incredible. I had such an amazing time with it. I agree with you with Yasuke. As a character, he was so cool. But playing as him, I found him super fucking boring. Super fucking boring.
I understand.
Like, whenever I had to be him, I was like a little bit like, oh, okay, let's get through this so I can go back to Naue. Because just the way she fought and the way that she did the traversal and everything, like her armor looked cooler, her horses looked cooler, her Like, yeah, everything about her was so cool that he was cool. He was fine. Character wise, story wise, absolutely brilliant, top tier. But playing as him, sorry, I'm out.
Yeah, I understand that.
It got very boring very quickly. It was like I need to do this. I need to clear this fort really quickly. Cool, call in Yasuke and just smash everything in the face.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I see, like, I was that same way of like, oh gosh, I've got to be Yasuke. This is going to make the traversal hard. Or like, wintertime, it was easier to move around as Yasuke over Naue because she would kind of like she would be a little slower in the snow. I don't know if you noticed that, but like Yasuke kind of just plowed through it, right? But yeah, you kind of just pull him out during the castle scenes. See, but it was like when I had to go to play as him that it was like, okay, when I'm doing a castle, this is fun. When I'm doing a Yasuke dedicated thing, this is fun. But outside of that, hell, if I could even travel to where I needed to go as Naue, then switch over to Yasuke, I would do that because I just kind of...
Interesting.
He was so clunky to use. But, and I told you this the last time we talked, but it's some of the things that has me so in love with this game is the attention to detail. Such as when you are Yasuke and you're climbing up a building and then you try to walk on a tightrope, he will fall through that tightrope because he's so heavy. He's klutzy. He's a klutz. When you do a leap of faith, an achievement pops, and every time he just rolls out of the hay bale and he's like, "Oh, my back! I don't know why is there so many hay bales around?" Like he brings this realistic fourth wall break every time he does something like that, and it's really
Did
cool.
you notice that when you do the leap of faith, he actually destroys the hay bale, and you can't reuse it?
You can't go back in.
It's gone. Anyway, let's move on from Assassin's Creed.
Yes, we should. It's now 9:00, so we're gonna get into Doom. But yes, he is better than Ezio, Steve. Okay, he might be. I don't know. Give me some time. I got
that sounds offensive.
I gotta like let it sit with me, right? These things take time. You get, but yes. So, real quick, one thing I want to mention before we start talking about Doom is the fact that I forgot to mention at the top of the show when I was talking about exciting announcements and new things to come. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on all podcast services around the globe. That is right. So starting this week, not only are we coming back to Spotify, but we're going to be on Apple Plus. Apple Plus. My gosh, we're not a TV show. We're going to be on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be on Amazon Prime. We're going to be on all those things. Already, your news podcast from this week is up on there. So check that out. Make sure to like, follow, rate, whatever you're listening on. And again,
stars, 5 stars.
5 stars. And I'll make sure to include that into the weekly roundup article. So let's talk some motherfucking Doom. All right. You guys ready for some Doom trivia? Got your trivia hats on? All right.
I'm not going to do very good at this, I don't think.
Neither am I. Neither am I. I've never paid attention to what's going on in a Doom game. Why would you?
Right?
You
mean
shit.
what?
No.
I think.
Listen, I think you guys are going to be all right? You guys are going to be fine.
Let's do this. Yep.
All right, so
I got all faith.
I've got like roughly 9 questions, all right? And some fun facts to go along with all of them. So,
okay.
First question is, when was the first Doom established?
Wasn't it 1992?
Russell, what's your answer?
Well, okay, wait. What do you mean by established?
When was the first Doom?
When was the first Doom?
I want to say 93.
Russell got it. It is exactly 93. You were really close, though, for you. So, what is the best-selling Doom?
Oh, God.
Doom 2. Has to be Doom 2.
Are you sure? I want to say Eternal, but well, screw it. Fraser, you can say 2. I'll say Eternal. I might be wrong though.
And it goes to Russell again. It was Doom Eternal, believe it or not.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna kind of Okay. Doom Eternal. It doubled its sales figures from the 2016 Doom. It reportedly brought in $450 million within its first 9 months.
I was going to say, Doom 2 is probably on more platforms than the rest of them.
So I do actually have that info, but that's after another question. How many copies from the original Doom, like the Doom 93, how many copies did that sell?
Till, like, in total, forever. Like, till today kind of deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not as much as you would think.
I'm going to say...
I looked this up like a year ago for some fucking
10 million.
reason. I don't think it's anywhere near that. Maybe 3? Maybe 3 million?
Okay, so we got 3 million from Russell, and what did you say, Fraser?
10 million.
10 million? Neither of you are right. It is 1.36 million. So
is that all?
Didn't even go past 2 million.
So I will point out that outrageous game sales in the 90s are very different from what they would be now.
That is exactly what I did some research on. To help put that in perspective, Street Fighter 2 was the best-selling game of 93 at 5+ million. While today games like Hogwarts Legacy, aka the best-selling game of 2023, sold 22 million within that year. Right. So, yeah, like last year's best-selling game, 22 million. The best-selling game of 93 was 5 million. So 1.36 million probably wasn't so best. So I do apologize because I told you it was overall, but I think when I wrote this down, it was actually probably within that year. So I apologize, Fraser. I fucked you up on that one.
Fine.
Then let's see. How many... Now, here's a big one. And I know this is a little bit boring because the last 2 questions were kind of similar. But roughly how many copies do you think have sold throughout the franchise?
Oh,
God, of just Doom.
Doom. Full stop.
50 million.
Okay. We got 50 million.
No, it's got to be more.
Okay.
So, when you say, those probably didn't sell very well anyway. There's some weird. There's
Doom was
some
on
weird.
Nintendo?
No, there's some weird Doom-related releases on the PS1, and I'm wondering if those.
Now, I will say,
but
I will say these numbers only take into account the mainline games.
Okay.
Do your thing, Fraser.
Steve, shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna stick with my 50 million.
Okay. And then, what are you gonna say?
It's gotta be less than that. Sorry, I was looking up Resident Evil figures. Just
you can see in his glasses. He's looking up he's cheating.
Yeah. You see in my glasses where it says Resident Evil video games worldwide sales.
You're googling how many copies of Doom sold.
Do you want to see my screen?
So it's actually
I do not.
It's actually crazy because I couldn't simply Google it. Google won't give you a rough estimate.
I'll ignore what Steve just put in. My instinct was actually to go with Fraser's number, so I'll bump it and say 60.
Okay. So it's actually super duper fucking off. Both of yours. 15 million.
Is that all?
15 million. Blew my fucking mind, I'll tell you. So I already told you that I love you, Steve. You're awesome. I knew I was gonna throw you guys off by being like, "Oh, Steve, shut up!" Like, yeah, no, I knew like Steve was way off too. But like, no. So yeah, Doom 1 only sold like not even 1.5 million, sold about 1.5 million. Doom 2 sold 2 million. So that's how many copies of Doom 2 sold. 2 million. Doom 3, 3.5. Doom 3 sold 1 million copies for PC. And then the Doom 3 BFG edition sold 600 million copies for PC. Doom 2016 sold 5.5.
You mean 6 million? 600,000.
Oh, 600,000. My bad.
Yeah,
I wrote down million for some stupid ass reason. Doom 2016 sold 5.5 million, and Doom Eternal sold 5.1 million on Steam. So, yeah. So it was,
what about Xbox? What about PlayStation? What about?
Yeah. So what the fuck? Okay. Yeah, because
you're missing heaps because it
Yeah,
went on Game Pass.
Your numbers suck.
Yeah. It's got to be more, dude. It's got to be.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So I will say, when I was putting this together, the fucking like when I was putting the numbers together, there wasn't a whole bunch of info out there as far as how many sales numbers are for there. So when I looked it up, I gathered what numbers there were. And so when I saw those, I guess I just skimmed over the fact that it was units sold on Steam.
There's also Doom 64.
Yeah.
That would have sold.
I'm looking on Google here, and the numbers. He's right. The numbers are really fucking weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say this question is a wash.
Yep.
There's no like solid.
Yep. You're right.
At all.
You're right. Because like I said, you can't even just simply Google it. You've got to like look pretty deep into different articles and places where there are games. And yeah, when I came up with that 15 number, I was like, oh yeah, like here's the full list. And I didn't read carefully enough when I put this together. So I apologize, guys. My fucking bad. My fucking bad.
That is fine.
Even the generative AI on Google is being weird, which I mean I don't really believe that anyway, but Chat GPT and Grok can be manipulated by the way you ask questions. So
yeah, that is very true. So how many times has Doom been rebooted?
Rebooted?
Rebooted. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, we're gonna put. So there is I forget the name of it. There is a weird release on PlayStation that's like kind of official and kind of not. We're gonna shelve that. I want to say 2.
Okay. What about you, Fraser?
Yeah, so I'm thinking that Doom 3 was a reboot because Doom 3 went from the kind of first-person shooter to more of like a survival horror type deal. And then we're talking Doom 2016 would have been another reboot.
Well, I don't agree with that, but anyway.
2016 would have been another reboot?
You don't think
2016 is technically a sequel.
To what?
2. If I remember correctly.
But it's definitely like I would consider it a reboot, even though it is a sequel. If it's considered a sequel, that's fine. But I would still consider it a reboot.
So the answer
yeah.
The answer is in between both of you guys. I wrote down 2 because officially the number is 1 based off of the 2016 reboot. That is the official answer. Like that's what Bethesda refers to it as. Like at least on Giant Bomb. Like according to Giant Bomb, whenever they had an interview with them, the creators over at ID, they were like, that's our reboot, right? And with Doom 3, it's considered a soft reboot just because they went such a drastically different route. They were trying to see if that was going to work for them, and it didn't really. So yeah, everybody considers it a reboot. It's just not, even though it was never officially said. So I wrote down 2 because that made more sense.
I'm seeing a shitload of debate about whether or not 3 is a reboot, whether or not 2016 is a reboot.
I think only officially We have to go official. We can't talk about Reddit. Reddit's not real.
No, it's not Reddit. It's the AI. It's Wikipedia. It's GameFAQs FAQs.
Yeah.
And I'm not running across like the Bethesda website on this, so I don't. Yeah.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. How long was the gap between Doom 3 and Doom 2016?
Well, I know that Doom 3 came out on the original Xbox. And Doom 2016 was on the Xbox One and the PS4.
Well, 2016 was 2016.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And so...
I'm going to go ahead... Okay, the 360 launch...
Nobody's ever going to listen to us again. These fucking idiots.
So I'm going to pull a random number out of my ass, and I'm going to say the Doom 3... So the Xbox 360 launched in 06 or 07, right?
I believe it was 4. It was 4 because the 360 launched in 2006.
That's what I was saying. That the 360 launched in 06.
Oh, I
so
thought you said the original. My
that.
bad. I thought you said the original.
So
okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it released in 2005. So that's 11 years.
Okay. So what was
I'm gonna say 13.
13. Damn it, guys! It's a tie because it's 12. It was 12 years, a 12-year gap. So you all were really fucking close. Even you, Steve. I see you in there. So why the long wait? That's not a question. Like I did my research on this one. It's better than the research I did for that last question. I promise. So early on, the primary reason was the engine development. And then development on other games, like they were helping out with Quake 4, and they were helping out with Enemy Territory, Quake Wars, along with Splash Damage. Then there was a ZeniMax acquisition in 2009 that didn't help either.
I was going to say, didn't Bethesda buy them before the Xbox One? In the 360 era?
It probably, but all I saw when I was looking it up was just the ZeniMax information. And then between shifting trends in the FPS genre, it was getting difficult for ID Software to find their Doom formula. According to Giant Bomb, there were attempts made to make a Doom 4, but the game was scrapped as they struggled to find their new direction. Which was kind of crazy to me. Like I thought it was really crazy interesting, the fact that they didn't know what their direction was anymore as a franchise.
I like that though.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they were like, we don't know what we're doing.
So we're not going to make a game.
Just make something.
Yeah.
Let's not just make something random and just slap Doom on it.
Yeah.
Like let's wait and see what comes of it. Which I think more companies need to do. Like, just chill. Just fucking chill.
Absolutely.
And don't just, I know that there's shareholder pressure, there's money pressure, there's time pressure. But, we've seen it time and time and time again. Just crap games being released with a name slapped on it.
Yep.
And, yeah. So that's really cool. The fact that they were like, you know what? No. We're not going to do Doom. We're going to wait. Absolutely.
And yeah, when I was reading that, I kind of thought about Nintendo a little bit, how they never made they've waited until Mario Kart World to do their next Mario Kart, because their whole reasoning was, we're not going to just make another Mario Kart to make another Mario Kart game. We want to know what the new thing for that game is going to be. So it was really interesting doing this research earlier this week and then going in to playing the new Doom game and seeing all the new changes into the game that they did and ways that they've innovated just since Doom Eternal. So yeah, absolutely. So the next question is kind of a boring one, and then we'll get right back to this topic. How many mainline games are there in Doom?
So I'm assuming we're not counting Final Doom or Doom 64, because I think both of those are considered spin-offs.
I think Doom 64
Doom's
is is considered part of the deal.
it's mainline.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it listed here. And also Doom the Dark Ages is considered mainline as well.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's considered an upcoming prequel to the 2016 reboot.
According to Wikipedia, for what that's worth, Doom 64 is considered a spin-off. But anyway.
Really?
Wikipedia is... I can jump onto Wikipedia and edit that. So I don't think that Wikipedia is...
Yeah, and then 5 of us can get on there and say, fuck you, Fraser, and then fix that.
Yeah.
I think what we need, Bethesda, release a Doom timeline, goddammit.
I'm going to say 7.
Okay. All right. So we got 7. Steve says 8. I'm going to throw you into this, Steve. You're out here playing. I love it.
Yeah, he's here. He's in.
1, 2, 3. We're counting 64. Final Doom definitely wouldn't be on this list. 3. I'm gonna say 6.
7 is the correct answer. You've got Doom 93, Doom 2 94, Doom 64 and 97, Doom 3 in 2004, Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and Doom the Dark Ages. And then let's see. What was the first weird device to run Doom? Now, before I wrote this down as like there's a definitive answer. There's not really a definitive answer to this question. There are 2 or 3 things that were the most. There are I'm so sorry. There are 2 or 3 objects that have run Doom that are like the first recorded things to be ported onto, you know, such as like a potato or something. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I know it's been ported to a flip phone. I know it's been ported to a pregnancy test, kind of.
Well, they've got a cardboard box can run it. I know that that's a thing. Steve said a butt plug. Hopefully you have to. Why not? You have to wear it and watch it in the mirror to play it, so everything's reversed.
The source code for Doom got released in the mid-90s.
Look, now we got Russell ticking over. He's doing it.
So, like, you're saying the first weird thing.
Yep, like the first weird thing. This isn't a definitive answer. There are 2 or 3 things you could say that are different.
It wouldn't be the John Deere tractor because that's relatively recent. The pregnancy testing is in the last few years. A fridge?
You can run it on a fridge.
Wrong, Steve.
You can run it on a fridge.
You can, but the fridge that you would. I'm gonna go ahead and say a flip phone. I don't know if that's right or not, though.
Okay, what about you, Fraser?
I don't even know. I got no idea. Let's go with a calculator.
What is a butt lug?
The oldest.
I think it's a P.
Recorded.
Actually,
device.
A calculator would make sense.
The oldest recorded device of being able to run Doom is, in fact, a T83 or 84 calculator.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
That, or I would have also accepted Kodak digital camera. And the third thing was something I can't even remember what it was. I didn't even bother writing it down because I was like, nobody's going to get that.
It's amazing.
Now, the next question, again, because when I was putting this together, I mean, man, there is not a whole bunch of definitive answers out there. But I wanted to talk history of Doom. And I was like, what's a fun way to talk about the history of Doom? So, how many devices can you play Doom on? Do you think?
Oh,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116,
Like, are we talking like
just
legitimate
weird
devices, or are we?
Yeah, like weird, not like legitimate devices like an Xbox versus PlayStation, but like potato versus calculator and Kodak camera.
That has no answer.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But there is.
We gotta be close, right?
There's a forum.
I'm gonna say 500.
Okay.
So 500.
There's a forum out there that's keeping track of all the known things that have been used so far. As to how accurate that is, I'm not 100% sure, but when I went through it, I mean, I was seeing all the ones I knew of.
So, when you say it can run Doom, are we talking about the original 1993 Doom, I'm assuming? Okay. No, Steve, your answer of 17 is not correct. I mean, there's probably 17 consoles that can run Doom.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's
325.
So there's 87 recorded ports on the. There's a website called canitRunDoom.org, and that kind of keeps track of all the different ones that they have. So do you guys know exactly why Doom is so playable on all these different devices?
Because the source code got released really early on.
So kinda.
Hold on.
Oh,
if I remember right,
this wasn't even a question.
The original owners of Doom, who may or may not have been id Software, I can't remember off the top of my head. Someone told them that if they released the source code, that they wouldn't make any money on the game. So just to do it, they fucking released it.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I got this info from Game because it's hella easy, clearly. But I got this information from Game Ranks. The reason why Doom is ported so readily is due to various factors behind its development and distribution. First and foremost, Doom broke tradition from other games of its time by being made publicly available as open source and originally released as shareware by ID Software. A Linux version of Doom's code was made available in 97, but it didn't take long for the programmers to reverse engineer to its original 93 version. Moreover, without delving too deep into the technicalities, what helped programmers code with Doom was that it was written in C, renowned at the time for being far easier to port than other forms of code. Today, C was backwards compatibility with other languages such as C++ and a host of compilers for almost any platform. This also had the added bonus of only needing low hardware specification in terms of processing power thanks to its efficient programming, meaning that Doom could run on even the lowest performing PC. So I know that's just a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo to most of us, like, especially when I'm sitting there talking about C and C++. But the main takeaway there is that it requires almost next to nothing in the sense of energy and power to run it. So, that's kind of the summary reason as to why so many things can run Doom.
I mean, It all made sense to me. But...
Wow. Okay. All right, Mr. Smarty Pants. I don't know what. See, I'm just not a coder. I don't know any of the code talk and C++ and all that stuff.
I am definitely not a coder, but I've had to use C++ for a couple, or C++ for a couple of things.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Let's see. I had one other thing, I believe. Oh, no, that was it. I had the other note I had was all the numbers of copies sold, which was wrong. So, yeah, that was...
Doom was the winner on the day.
Doom... I didn't keep track. Doom won. What was your guys' experience playing Doom?
our first experience?
Yeah. Like,
One.
what's just in general your experience playing Doom?
Fraser might want to go first. I might get a little long-winded with this, but
So, as we all know, I didn't start gaming until a lot later in life. So, my first experience with Doom was Doom 3 on the Xbox 360. So, it terrified the shit out of me. It was because I remember that at one point in the game, you could only have a torch or a weapon. You couldn't have both. So you could either see and die or not see and shoot.
Yeah. Yep.
And I want to go, like, I've been meaning to go back and play it recently because I'm going through my like 360 backlog, which I'm having loads of fun with. But like, yeah, so my first experience with Doom was actually the survival horror thing. I had friends back in the day that had Doom on like the original Doom and Doom 2 on a PC, but they were actually more into Wolfenstein than Doom. So whenever I'd go over, we'd chuck on the computer and we'd play Wolfenstein over Doom. Even though they were pretty much the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was either not killing Nazis or killing demons. But yeah, so it wasn't like, and then kind of like Doom just kind of died off for me after Doom 3. And it wasn't until like Doom 16, obviously, Doom 16 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it was the music. The music was just, when that Doom music kicks in and you're just like, what? This is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the speed of it was like, so much fun. So much fun. So yeah, my like initial experience with Doom was 3. Yeah. And then it's actually only been recently when the anthology box set got released.
Yeah.
I played through Doom 1 and Doom 2. Brilliant fun. Obviously super dated.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really hard. Like, really hard.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I played it for
those,
like 20 minutes, and I was like, damn, this is kind of hard.
Yeah, and like, especially on those higher difficulties. Woo, it's brutal.
I actually didn't even touch it.
For me, yeah. Just play it on, was it Hurt Me Daddy?
I think so.
I think that's the original, which is amazing. Yeah. So, Doom 64 is the next one on my list after I finish up with Dark Ages.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So
for me, yeah.
What was your favorite out of all of those? It was Doom 2016, you think?
Out of all of them, like to like just even including Dark Ages.
Oh.
I actually think that Dark Ages is my favorite.
Ho, snap. How far have you made it into it so far?
I am on chapter 7.
Okay. I'm not too crazy behind you then. Okay, because I'm on like 3. So I've barely been able to get some time in yet.
There's a couple of really short chapters, and there's a couple of like really big chapters.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, the thing, I'm just gonna keep talking. But the thing,
yeah, go for it.
The reason that I'm saying Dark Ages is because as I'm getting older, and as I'm getting into like my teaching and my training and all that kind of stuff, like accessibility is so important. It's so important for everything in life in general. And like that whole thing, like Xbox's whole mantra of like gaming is for everyone. Like, do you know what? It should be for everyone, but it's actually not. There's actually so much in gaming that, people with disabilities and people that just can't do. But with the Dark Ages, the accessibility sliders in that, I feel like I've made my own Doom. Like difficulty, speed, projectile speed, damage given, damage received, being able to change the colors, being able, like, you can even change the little face in the middle of the screen that shows the blood. You can change it to the original Doom face. There's just there's so much cool stuff that they've done that, like, I feel like I've made my own Doom. And that's why I love this the most, because that parrying system that they've included, how have they not done that sooner? It's perfect. It feels so good in this to be able to absorb all that damage and fire it back at them. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Bro, I just gotta tell you, you did a great job at talking about talking about Doom, because all the questions that I had lined up, like, you pretty much just in one fell swoop answered all of them. And not only that, I mean, you also show me why, prove to everybody why everybody wants to have you on their podcast. Right? I mean, dude, yeah, the accessibility is so important. And the Doom the Dark Ages, that was one of the first things I noticed too, was like, man, you can literally change everything. And not to go on and on about Assassin's Creed, but that was something else that I loved about Shadows so much, is, again, with that game, I felt like I made my own game. I wrote that in my review. That Assassin's Creed is whatever you want it to be, in the sense of you can change it to auto kill, you can change it to this, that, or the other thing. And yeah, I'll get to some more questions with Russell, but yeah, I'm sure you're gonna circle back to everything you just said. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go.
No, just one more thing. Like, this, everyone, like, talks about DEI, right? And how go woke, broke, go broke, blah blah blah. No, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. DEI is not having a black person in your game, or being about gay people, or being about whatever. Like, that, it's about inclusion. Inclusion, full stop. Just because the main character is black doesn't mean that this is a DEI game. Like, for me, Doom the Dark Ages is the most DEI game I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And just the inclusion thing. That's all I have to say about that. I don't want to go into any more, because it really rocks people up, and I'm not about that. But I just wanted to say, like, you know, as I'm working more with DEI stuff, and the more I'm understanding it, the more it means to me. And yeah,
I couldn't have said it better myself. Seriously, awesome. So Russell, to kind of go back a couple steps, what is your experience with Doom?
What do you mean? Like, my first experience, or
just like just
like a map out of,
just kind of like, what Doom games have you played, and your background with the franchise?
So I probably sorry, coughing phlegm out of the throat. So I probably played Doom 2 on SNES. I know one of my friends growing up early on had that, and I'm sure I messed around with it for like 15 minutes or something. But the first one I remember playing a lot of was Doom 64. There are plenty of ways to play that game now. I do not suggest necessarily going back to the 64 to play it.
Uh-oh.
After that,
You're stuttering, Russell. Okay, you're good. You're good. You're back.
Weird, my bit rate and everything is. Anyway, who cares? Maybe the internet was just shitting out or something. Anyway, so from there, I want to say I had played. There was I mean, I guess Frasier can't really relate to this. Maybe he can. I don't know. But as staying up with your friends late at night will do, me and another friend named Jacob discovered Final Doom, which I didn't find out till later is not. Final Final Doom is Doom 2, but I forget exactly how many levels Doom 2 has, but I believe Final Doom has somewhere between 60 and 70 levels.
Ooh.
It's a mod that actually, I believe it's an official release on the PS1. So Nathan, are we saving like favorite and least favorite for last, or?
Well, you can go ahead and dive right into favorite because we kind of got into that with Frazier as well. So yeah, what is your favorite in the franchise?
Well, it's not So from there, I played Doom 3 on the 360, I believe. Because I believe it was originally for Xbox, and then I played it through back compat. And then it wasn't actually until the Xbox One where I went back and played 1 and 2 to like, an extent and length. And then obviously with the Xbox One just through Game Pass, pretty much played all of them, I believe. I still have,
Yeah.
even though I don't have a system that will run it, I still have my limited run Xbox One version of Doom 64 lying around here somewhere.
Oh, nice.
I believe. It was the first Xbox game they ever printed. In their they'd done Xbox games before that, but as far as their like official, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, that was their first one. I know they've done Xbox releases before then. And then obviously 2016 Doom Eternal. And then Doom the Dark Ages. I guess a point I wanted to make, because I know Doom Eternal is like a hot topic for some people. You had brought up a favorite game. That's probably a tie, and this is gonna seem really strange. But my favorite Doom is probably either. This is gonna be strange because they're like so different. But either Doom 2 or 2016. I'm not sure which. I know that seems really strange.
Yeah, those are very wildly differently.
Yeah, they're wildly different. I know some people with Doom Eternal complained about the platforming. I don't really like understand that, honestly. I got lost a little bit in Doom Eternal because some of the platforming is not as obvious as maybe it could be, if that makes sense. But it didn't really bother me that much. Now, as far as Doom the Dark Ages goes, so I will say, if you're like a hardcore Doom guy, the parrying takes a little getting used to, or at least it did for me. Overall, the shield mechanic has been kind of fun, though. It kind of helped like mix things up a little bit. I'm the guy that, so I don't even know if you guys know. So in the older Dooms, you've got the gun in the middle of the screen. There's actually an option in 2016 and Eternal to do that, which is how I play them. I don't know if you two do or not.
Yeah, I played it like that, but that's not how I prefer to.
Yeah, that's the way I do it. As soon as I found out about the shield mechanic, I was a little butthurt because I was like, well, if you have to have a shield, then obviously they're not. And I don't know if it's in there or not, but I perused the options a little bit and didn't see it in there. I spent most of my time at the beginning of the game screwing with everything because so that I could get triple-digit FPS, because that's just how I play Doom. With Doom, for me, if it's not at least 100 FPS, I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
It needs to be quick, right?
Yeah.
Quick.
I screwed around. I screwed around with Dark Ages a little bit, and I dropped it to 60 FPS, and it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
But Doom the Dark Ages, they've screwed with a little bit, but I mean, it's still a Doom game. There's still platforming. There's more cutscenes than any other Doom I can remember.
But I noticed that.
But I still don't really know what's going on because I'm not paying attention to them, to be honest. I've gathered that there's this group of whatever the hell they are that talk a lot, and it kind of seems like your Doom guy is like a slave to them or something.
Yeah.
I'm not really
that's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, but I don't pay. obviously I started playing Doom relatively early on, and if we're being honest, the earlier games, if you wanted any story out of it, you had to read the booklet. They didn't really they didn't try to tell a story with it until probably 3, if I remember right.
An amazing movie with Carl Urban.
Yeah. We can. We don't need to talk about.
We should have a rewatch. We should
yes,
have a watch party.
Do.
We should have a watch party. Let's do it.
The Rock. No. The Rock was in it too, wasn't
he? Yep.
Even The Rock has shit on that movie.
Oh, that is saying a lot when it's The Rock talking shit about a bad movie.
I guess if we're going to talk about, I mean, Fraser kind of already broke it when he was talking about favorites, so I did too. If we were going to talk about least favorite for a second, so honestly, even including a Final Doom, which is kind of weird, there's really only one Doom game that I have played that I didn't really like, and that was Doom 3. I understand without Doom 3, we wouldn't have gotten 2016 or Eternal or eventually Dark Ages, so like I get it. But some of those Doom 1 and Doom 2 were definitely what I would consider like pseudo 3D. Kind of like with like early Super Nintendo games like Mario Kart, like it was 3D but it wasn't really 3D. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Doom 64 was still a little bit like that too. So like Doom 3 was the first one where they tried like a bunch of cutscenes and all this other crap, and like to me it's just boring and I didn't really like it. I have never, so I finished 1, 2, 64, 2016, all on the Xbox One, I believe. I don't think I've finished Doom Eternal. I don't know if I'm gonna finish Dark Ages, at least anytime soon, because I got just other shit to work on.
Right.
But I've been enjoying it. It might be not to spoil my Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 game, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not a game you can just get home and play for a couple hours.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
And there's a lot of reasons for that, and it's one of the handful of reasons the review's taking so long is playing it throughout the week is almost like a chore.
Right.
And as at least Nathan knows, this is the first Saturday I'll have off in like a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoy all the games pretty much for what they are, except for 3. 3 is kind of like, I kind of equate it to Resident Evil 7. Every couple years I go and I try to play it, and then like I play it for a couple hours, and then I remember why I hate it, and I don't touch it for a couple years.
So, we gotta start wrapping up here fairly soon. So the next question I'm gonna ask, and it's more directed towards Russell, because Fraser, you kind of already highlighted these things again, which is why I was praising you earlier, because you you immediately started going into what makes Doom special. And again, we kind of talked about that during the history and the trivia of it all, of finding their new route and finding their identity in a world full of first-person shooters. You know, you got your Call of Duties, you got your Battlefield, you've got Wolfenstein, you've got all these different things. What is it about Doom specifically that makes it so different, so special? Russell, you go first.
So, I kind of equate Doom, and I don't know what Fraser said because I had to fucking pee, but I kind of equate Doom to Slayer, and Fraser's gonna understand that. Slayer is Slayer, and Doom is Doom. You talk about identity. I think Doom is known what it is since the very first game. And much like Slayer, there was a weird period in the 90s with Slayer, with Diablos and Musica and Divine Intervention, where I don't really know what the hell they were doing.
I don't think they were like, Jeff, you take the wheel. And he was like, all right, let's play some punk music. And then they were like, nah, that sucks. Let's go back to metal.
It wasn't even, like, everyone in the early to mid-90s was trying to do, like, the new metal thing. And it worked for, like, Korn and Slipknot. but it didn't really work for Slayer. But then with God Hates Us All, I kind of feel like that was a little bit of a retreat back to what they used to be, and started enjoying them again. Kind of like Doom, where it got a little weird with 3, and I don't really think I liked that. I don't know what they were. With 3, it's not just the cutscenes that are jarring, although that was a little bit of it. Doom 3 didn't. It was like kind of like a Doom game, but kind of not. There was a little bit more like traversal and exploration than we were used to, which was weird. And I just don't think they really knew what the hell they were doing. It didn't seem like it anyway. So yeah, I literally, like, you talk about identity, I literally equate Doom to Slayer. It's just like, you know what Slayer is, you know what you're getting. I mean, you should know what you're getting with a Slayer album, and you should know what you're getting with a Doom game too. And I was a little worried that Dark Ages was going to veer too far from that, but I don't think it has. I don't. So the one mech mission I've done so far, I liked. The dragon stuff, I thought it was going to be cooler than it is. I could kind of take or leave, honestly.
It feels like filler, doesn't it?
Yeah,
feels like filler
I
content.
think so. Oh, and I do want to talk about the Doom soundtrack a little bit. They didn't bring back Gordon, which, if you don't know, there's been some like contract money shit.
Know a little bit about
him.
it.
Yeah, him and Bethesda. So I'm not surprised about that. I am a little surprised. So they contracted 2 guys to do the Doom Eternal DLC soundtrack. That was not Gordon. That was a guy named Andrew and another guy whose name's escaping me right now. Why they didn't bring them back? Right. Why they didn't bring them back? I'm not really sure. And like, they're not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. They're just not. Maybe simple is the right word. There's just not a lot. You get all these guns and you can upgrade them and you can switch between the super shotgun and the shotgun, and then the dragon is just the dragon. So, like Frazier, I'm stuck, I believe, in the middle of Chapter 7. I'm having a hard time with a boss fight. I'm not sure if it's in the middle of it or at the end of it, but maybe that changes. Maybe you can upgrade the dragon and the mech later. I'm not really sure. I'm again not. I think the game said there's 22 missions, so not even halfway through. So we'll see how that goes. But.
Do you guys?
I just want to
feel like Steve asked, is it like the Batman Arkham Knight Batmobile again when it comes to flying the dragon?
I thought the Batmobile was better.
Oh damn! Uh-oh.
I hate the dragon parts.
Don't say that to me, damn it.
I don't hate it.
It removes me. It removes me from
what
Doom. For me, Doom is over the top, ridiculous, never reloading, absorbing damage, quick, and then you get in the dragon, and you're like, now I'm just flying places. Like,
dragons suck.
Well, and to be fair, like the dragon level, so you're not even on the dragon the whole time. Although I will say there's a spot where like you're on the dragon, and then you get off the dragon, and then you basically like just go through this tunnel, and then the dragon's on the platform after the tunnel, and I'm like, well, why'd you have me even get off the fucking dragon? Because you're literally off of him for like what 30 seconds, and then you're back on him. So I thought that was a little weird. But then after that, like there's like a castle with like some ships or whatever the hell it is on them, and you'd have to hit points in them, and then you drop, and then you're a Doom guy again, and you kill some shit, and you get back on the dragon. So it's not you're not even on the dragon the whole level.
Yeah.
I understand what Frazier's saying. One of the most infamous lulls in a game, and what I mean by lull is not LOL, I mean low point, in a game that I absolutely love, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. After Big Smoke and Ryder turn on you, and you end up in that hick redneck town for a little while, and you've got your girlfriend Catalina or whatever. After that, you buy a garage, and there is like some remote control car missions and like the remote control helicopter. I love that game.
Steve.
But I would get it. I would give it a 9.5 because of that stupid helicopter bullshit. The dragon is not nearly that bad. What is Steve
said? Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Oh,
spoilers.
Do you want me to fucking time? Do you want me to time you out again?
Back to what Russell was saying though about the music. I'm gonna go out there and say that the Dark Ages, the music, they've missed it. For me, it's not the same.
Oh,
just
really?
Because it has double kicks doesn't mean it's metal.
Yeah, and I mean it's metal, but it's not.
It just, I don't know. Like I'm playing, and then I'm like, oh, that's right. There's music playing as well. Where like you're playing 2016 or you're playing Eternal, and the music builds as the battle builds. The music has lulls. The music has bits. Where this is just the same. It's just chugging guitars and blast beats, and like, I don't know. It's
even
fine.
Even the first 3 games that were done on like a fucking MIDI keyboard, like it was still kind of like felt like pumping your fist metal type stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of that in this. But yeah, it's just not. It's not the same.
That's my only thing that I have to say about Dark Ages is so far is that the music, I've missed it completely.
So, would you like to go into a little bit more about what makes Doom special, Fraser?
Oh, like for me, it's the music. It's the music and the over the top pacing of Doom. That's what makes it. And right from, like Russell said, right from the first game, they know what they're doing. You don't have to reload. You don't take cover. You don't like do anything that stops you from advancing. It's always push forwards. Always forwards, no matter what.
I don't like telling people how to play games, but I've seen gameplay of people like playing it like it's a Call of Duty game, and like there's some stuff that like, you know, there's structures and stuff that you can kind of run behind to like maybe grab health or something. But I don't generally like camp out there for like minutes at a time and use it for cover. Particularly in Dark Ages, they've kind of nailed that like if you do that, you're probably going to get swarmed. And if you just so happen to be by something where there's not a regenerative health point, you're fucked anyway. So they've kind of designed it as a lot of Doom games have, most of them anyway. I never made it anywhere near finishing 3, so I'm not really sure about that one. But
I think 3 is an anomaly in this.
I really don't like 3. I was afraid with Doom the Dark Ages when I started hearing about like the parry and stuff. I was like, oh, is this going to be like 3 where I just don't like it and it doesn't feel like a Doom game? Yeah. It feels like a Doom game with a shield.
Yeah.
Steve just said, someone said if you turn the effects down and turn the music all the way up, it plays better.
Okay. I'll give it a go. I'll give that a go.
So Steve, I hate to be a dick. I tried that. And there are parts where it gets better, but there's also a lot of lulls in the music too. They're like really heavy parts of the music. It's not it doesn't feel like it's as often as the older games. And maybe that's just me ignoring the soundtrack because it's not as great as it once was. But
I think because like what makes a good like metal song like for me is like the breakdowns and the change of speed and the change of pace. With this, there doesn't seem to be that change. It's just, you know, the same time signature and then it gets heavier. But like, if anything, the heavy bits should be slower and chuggier. And yeah. But anyway, that's it. Yeah. What I do love, one thing that I've noticed that's been very cool, like the destructible environment, right?
Right.
You feel like a fucking tank.
Yes.
You're running. The ground shakes under you when you run. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there was this one bit, there was like a little bit of a market area, obviously, and there were like buildings and shit around. You can run through parts of the building and it will fall down. And then you run through the next bit and the next bit falls down. And if you take out all 4 pillars, the whole roof collapses. Like, it's just cool little shit like that like they didn't need to do that, and they've done it.
I didn't do anything like that.
Now,
yeah.
See, I saw in the chat the other day, I kind of, sometimes when I can't catch up with all of the stuff going on in the Discord, I'll kind of just skim through the notifications, kind of get a gist of if it's a conversation I can hop in on, or if I'm just unable to catch up on, right? So I think I saw Jeff, Steve, and one of you two talking about Space Marine 2 and Game of the Year and how this holds up. And I had the same thought as you, Steve, and Jeff when it came to how I was feeling about Doom the Dark Ages this year, is that this year it's the Space Marine 2 of the year. And because I got the exact same vibe as you guys did, where I feel like a Space Marine. It reminded me of that. Like when you're climbing the walls, the vibrations into the controller, and like you jump up, you take a big jump, fall down, and there's 5 little dudes surrounding you, and they all just explode from your mere presence. Yeah. Like, come on. And okay. All right. That's for you, Steve. Mwah, mwah. I love SEO. Don't get me wrong. Listen, one day I'll get to meet what's his name who voice acts for him. Anyways, but yeah, no. When it comes to what makes Doom special, man, I've been thinking about this all week in preparation for this episode, because I think about Wolfenstein, right? And that game sticks out to me. Apart from, I've played countless first-person shooter games. Why does Wolfenstein, why does that stick out? And now Doom, it's a little easier, but I want to point out Wolfenstein and why it's so special, because that kind of goes hand in hand with Doom, right? It's honestly, I gotta say, it's the gameplay, and it kind of go hand in hand with what Fraser's saying. It is that fast-paced gameplay. It is you are here to just simply blow stuff up, have a good time. This isn't a game trying to be super realistic. This isn't a game trying to push a story. This isn't a game that's trying to compete with Call of Duty. This isn't a game that's trying to get you into a loop of the monetization that they have. This isn't a game that's trying to get you to check in for your daily rewards. This is a game that's like saying, hey, we know we got you for a couple hours. Do you want to blow shit up and be a total badass for a little bit, and then, never forget about it for the next 4 years? I mean, come on. Like, the game is known for having a gun called the BFG, the big fucking gun. I mean, come on. This is the kind of game you're just going to blow shit up. You're going to have a good time. And it's because of those small attention to details, such as climbing up hills and being bulky and those badass cutscene moments that makes you feel amazing, that kind of benefit towards, oh, wow, I feel special. I feel different. This game makes me feel more than just another dude with a gun. You're the Doom guy. And it's like, they also embrace the fact that the Doom guy is kind of a joke at this point. Like, it's kind of like a... like, they know they're cheesy. They know they're cheesy, and they love it, and they, like, own that. And I think it's when you own it that, people really start to love that. Or, trust me, I'm the king of, like, doing stupid shit in front of people, and then when you just own it, and, like, it makes everybody around you so much more comfortable when you're like, yeah, that was really stupid of me to do that thing, right? And it's kind of the same thing with cheesy stuff, right? But yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's the gameplay. And usually whenever it comes to a really good game, It always comes down to the attention to detail for sure. And there is something to be said for the music as well. The metal and the fact that you've got these games such as, what's that game that got its studio shut down?
You're gonna have to be a lot more specific than that.
The Xbox game that Shadow dropped 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
You got the guitar.
That one.
It's a rhythm-based game. Yeah. Nope. All right.
I know what you're talking about.
You do know what I'm talking about?
I just got released on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Thank you so much. So like Hi-Fi Rush, and then there's also the Hellstorm or Hell something where you know what I'm talking about. Those rhythm-based games that are focused around music. There's an audience for that kind of game, and music does bring people into games, right? I think those titles show that people will come just for the music, and not just good gameplay. Because I think that, yeah, Rock Band, yes, Rock Band as well.
Yep, another good
another good rhythm-based game, right? But yeah, no, I think that definitely adds to its uniqueness. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up there because we are running at about 2 hours now. I'm definitely going to chop this up for Spotify and those areas. So I will kind of just do the first hour as like, hey, that was a 1 episode special. We did that to catch up since we hadn't podcasted so long. And, our episodes are always an hour and a half and stuff. And again, today's the exception, right? We haven't podcasted in so long. We owe you an extra half hour, So, yeah, stay tuned. Let us know your feelings on the changes. And we're glad to be back, Russell, thanks for coming on. Fraser, do you have anything you wanted to say before we go?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I hope you guys have a great day, and
have a beautiful day.
Yeah, we will see you next week.
Steve mentioned plugs. We got a plug. Man. If we don't plug, we're
plugs.
not going to get anywhere.
You're right. I already had Russell do his plug earlier. The plugs are already in the description of this video. But, Russell, you want to start us out? Plug your shit.
My shit?
Plug your shit with the anal plug Steve had earlier.
I mean,
that
you can follow me. You can follow me on fucking Twitter/X, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's in the description. I have a YouTube channel, Casualties of Gaming. Mods, ROM hacks, little devices to play such things on, and recently covering more GitHub related projects.
And Freeze.
Lovely. Yeah, you can find me at F-Bomb Gaming everywhere. It's just me. F-Bomb with an E. Yeah.
And don't ever ask me what my gamer tag is because y'all know it's One Hot Dragon, all right? It's One Hot Dragon everywhere.
Beautiful dragon.
If you can't find it, just try capitals, try taking out the spaces. It's only different because of the requirements to get signed up to a website, right? Right now, the only thing I'm on is the Gamer Social Club. That's all the time I have right now, especially during this move. I barely have time for the website right now. So, yeah. Thanks for reminding us about our plugs, Steve.
We'll get better at plugging.
Juan Hot Dragon. Love
You're,
yeah, because that was one of the things me and Fraser talked about when it came to changes and things we wanted to do more on the show was talking more about what's going on our YouTubes and what's going on our channels. And I remembered to ask Russell, but I forgot to ask you, Fraser. So I'm sorry. I hope you will forgive me for my transgressions.
No, it's totally fine, my friend. Totally fine.
All right, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week when we talk. I think, give me 1 second. We're gonna talk Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Yeah. All right. Have a great day.
All right, bye. Ciao.